Hi. Okay, in today's video we're going to discuss about one of the greatest habits, or the thing that actually affects our health, which is sleep, right? We all know that. So the topic is how you sleep decides how you live. So this is so much true to the depth of its literal meaning, right? Okay, so today we're going to discuss about the 7 facts about your sleep. And you know what, you will be amazed to know there are some of the things that we could never ever imagine could link to our sleep, but they actually do. Okay, so number 1, X hours are important, else you cannot function properly. Well, this is true, but sometimes people say that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is important. Some say this, some say 6, some say 7, some say 8. You know what? The fact is that for every person, this X is different. So that means I might need different X hours of sleep, while the other person may need, you may need some other hours of sleep. But the truth is that this X is different for everyone. Okay? So, you know what? Follow your pattern. Just learn how your body behaves. Learn that how much sleep do you need. Do you think that it makes me feel refreshed? Okay, so know your X. Okay, now having a bedtime, number 2, having a bedtime and wake up time are great habits. Really, this is such a wonderful habit that you cannot imagine can impact your life in a really beautiful way. So if you have a bedtime and a wake up time, those are really amazing habits to be practiced with your family, like your spouse and your children. Very important. um, why? Because if you have a bedtime, a definite time that you go to sleep at, and then a definite time when you wake up at, so what happens is, like your brain and your body have a clock. So once you go into that clock, so automatically what happens is every part of your body goes to sleep on a different and on a definite time, and then gets up at a definite time. This helps to build your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health. This helps you a lot. Plus, if you do it regularly for a long time enough, if you follow some particular bedtime, if your bedtime is fixed for some particular time, then you know what? The X hours that you need for sleep, right, will keep on decreasing with time. Eventually, it will happen for sure, but you cannot just simply do it. Like, don't cut off your sleep, okay? Sleep for the time that you feel good about after waking up. That's important. That's really important. So, okay. So the point is, having a bedtime and wake up time are great habits, and slowly with time, if they are fixed, your X hours, that means your wake up time, will keep on shrinking and coming, like from 8 to maybe 7:30, from 7:30 to maybe 7 over the period of time, right? You don't have to force yourself, but that happens quite naturally. Okay. And second thing, and one important thing is that do not force yourself. Do not force yourself to cut off your bedtime or wake up time. Plus, if suppose you have a wake up time and there is a day that that you feel like getting up early, right? Then don't be like, oh no, it's not still my wake up time. I can still sleep for an hour. If I don't sleep, I'll be very shabby. No. If you feel like waking up, please wake up. Okay? Why? Because your body is ready, your mind is ready. Although it can be like, it can change some of the things. Like, what it will do is probably on the next day you will sleep a little longer than usual. That's okay, that's normal. Okay, you can do that as well. Be flexible with life. Okay, bedtime and wake up time are great things, but be flexible with them, because we are eventually developing everything for a greater life. We don't have to miss the life in between them, right? So if on some days this happen, that's okay. And there's also a myth that sometimes people think that if for one day they don't sleep at the same time, they won't be able to wake up another morning at the exact time they used to. Well, that's not the case. You know what? Even if you have a schedule of bedtime and a wake up time, and you go to sleep, suppose an hour later than what you used to do. So it doesn't mean that in the morning, instead of getting up at 8, you will get up at 9. No, your body will still would like to wake up at 8, but generally what people do is they think that X is a fixed time, right? So instead of getting up at 8, they sleep until 9. Although the body, the mind, everything is ready to get up, they don't, because they say no, you need to sleep an hour more, because you today you getting lesser sleep. But you know what? You shouldn't be doing that, because if you do that to your body, just imagine you ruin your bedtime and your wake up time, right? Don't do that. Okay, you can still wake up at the same time. Yes, trust me, you can do that. You should give it a try. Okay, the third thing is create a bedtime environment and its rules. Yes, this is very important. Bedtime and wake up time are great things, but what you do in that time, in those times, at that time, is actually decides whether this will be a fruitful process or not. So, like for children, bedtime is, almost all of the kids I have ever known, ever seen, ever heard of, all of the kids love bedtime. They are super excited, super active, super playful just before bed or going to bed. So sometimes, setting up a bedtime for them is a very, very seriously difficult task. But for children, routine is something, a greatest boon to them. If you don't give a routine to them, what happens is the anxiety levels, their stress levels go way higher than you would even ever think of. And you would wonder what you're doing in your daily thing, what wrong are you doing with them. But the truth is they have to have a routine, so that they can drain out all of the energy that they have. So create a bedtime environment. That means that if it is a bedtime, suppose you want to go to sleep, suppose you want to take your kids to go to sleep at 9 maybe, or maybe 8, whatever your preference is. So an hour before, you should start preparing them. Create that environment. Take them to the bed an hour before, and make them listen to some of the stories, the bedtime stories. They work wonders with kids. Those last moments of togetherness, they actually decide how your life would be. Why? Because it's not just for your children, it's for your spouse as well. Even if you're going to bed with your spouse, make sure that you create an environment, you create a bedtime. There should be a rule for the bedtime that, okay, no discussions in this time. No discussions that could create disappointment, no routine discussions. You can do that, previously. Before the bedtime, you should be actually finishing all of those. But in the bedtime, it should be calm. It should be loving. It should be caring. There should be no clutter at all, okay? That disturbs your sleep drastically. So rather, if you would put some flowers, if not, decorate your room in a way. I mean, you don't have to do it every day, you can do it just once. It should be an environment where you could actually sleep in, because see, you would be sleeping in for like 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever amount of hours, right? But you would be sleeping in for a really long time. So your environment should be very good. Plus there should be rules, and there should be rules like no discussion, nothing that should create any disputes. You should rather solve it before your bedtime, right? Do everything to save your bedtime, okay? And also for the kids, make them feel in the bedtime, before the bedtime, that they are loved, cared, okay? If you do that, okay, if you don't do that, okay, there's so many consequences. But yeah, if you do that with your kids, if you do that with your spouse, what happens is that with the period of time, they actually develop so much confidence in themselves and so much love. If we don't do that, over the period of time, they start developing the attitude that they are not good enough. And I'm sure you don't want that for your family. So if that's the case, please try. These are some simple things for a simple life, because life is simple. Why too complicate it unnecessarily? Don't do that, okay? Okay, let's get up into the fourth habit, which is create a wake-up time environment and its rules. So bedtime, we often talk about bedtime. In fact, bedtime stories, bedtime environment is such a popular thing today. But you know what? There is one important thing that is called wake up time environment and its rules. So when you wake up, generally women have so much higher levels of anxiety. Why? Because they have a number of things to do, like what to cook, clean up, make for lunch, make breakfast. There is so much going on in the mind. Once you wake up, you just start like a machine. No, there should be a wake up environment and its rules. Okay, so when you're waking up, be calm. Don't speak a lot, blah 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 blah. Okay, don't create so much noise into the environment. Keep it calm, okay? And if someone else is sleeping, don't push them to wake up. Ask them simply. If your spouse is there, ask him simply, okay, do you want him or she? Okay, it's not just the lady who wakes up first, sometimes men to wake up first. And one of the greatest annoying thing of the people who wake up first is that they wake up peacefully because they are the first persons to wake up. But the other people who are asleep, you should respect their sleep as well, okay? Because they are still asleep. They feel like sleeping more. And what you do is you try to push to wake them up. That's not nice. Because you know what? If it is your family in your home, it's their home too. They also have the right to sleep into the amount they want to sleep. Now, alrighty, okay, don't force anyone to wake up, but rather you could ask simply. If someone doesn't, okay, leave it to him, leave it to her, okay, if the person wants to wake up or not. As far as the thing for your kids is concerned, same thing, okay, leave it up to them. If they sleep for a really long time, and then teach them, then tell them that, you know what, you shouldn't be doing that, because if you keep doing that, your brain's efficiency, your physical body's efficiency is gonna reduce day by day. Because so much, sleeping for a long time is also not a good thing. Like you just sleeping for 12 hours, that's not normal, okay? It's gonna reduce your brain's efficiency, plus your tendency to, it actually, hibernates your body. You don't want that. X hours of sleep are really good, but if you sleep beyond that, because everybody is different, your capacity is different, your body's needs are different. Think about it, follow it, read it, study yourself carefully. If you sleep beyond that, okay, you do not wake up with the full potential or the energy. You wake up very shabby. In fact, you don't want to wake up. So that means you're sleeping way too more than you actually should. Okay, it won't happen in a day, but over the period of time, it actually happens. But at least you should think in that direction. If you know it, then you have higher probability of doing it. If you don't know it, obviously you're not going to do anything about it, right? Okay, so create a wake up environment and its rules. Don't push anyone, okay? Don't do that. See, um, if you think you are building their habits by pushing them so hard, so trust me, you're not going to do it. Because if you think that if you fix a wake up time for your children and you're forcing them to wake up, it isn't working. It isn't a habit. It isn't, because once he goes to the hostel, he will sleep for long hours and he'll be like, oh, now I can sleep for several hours, and they will have a tendency to live into the hostel rather than living at home. This is happening almost in all of the families, all because of your this annoying habit of waking up someone, especially when he doesn't want to, right? Okay, let them sleep, just don't wake up. And sometimes it could be annoying to see some person just sleeping and sleeping and sleeping for long hours. So you know what, do one thing, let them sleep. It's okay. You should not, just to develop one habit, you should not compromise your relationship, okay? If you're waking someone up and it is creating conflicts, there's no point of waking that person up. You know what? Ask him, okay, you know what? Do it for yourself. I am not waking you up because I don't want to compromise my relationship with you. So let the person sleep for long hours. If he's sleeping, if the job is missing, okay, one day, big deal. Let him be dependent on himself. Why you have to interfere in everything? You don't have to. Trust me. Okay? And once the person sleeps a lot, he will ask you, please wake me up. The other day, when the person is asleep, he behaves in a different manner. The other day, okay, he asked you to wake him up. Try only, okay? Still don't force. Ask him, it is this time. Do you want to wake up? Okay, just let them know. They wake up, they don't wake up, it's their job, not yours. Seriously, not yours. So if you do it that way, they will start taking ownership. And if they take ownership, that's a great thing. And one more thing, just be a guide to your children. Don't be their boss, okay? Not just for children, for your spouse as well. If you're telling something good, that's a good. Be a guide, don't be a boss, okay? Let them choose for themselves. Because if you keep choosing for the other person, you are killing their decision-making ability. And if you kill their decision-making ability, then sometime in future, you'll be like, this person doesn't know what to decide for themselves. Why you keep deciding for others? Others are your family members. I agree, but still, let them decide for themselves. Let them choose for themselves. They have their individual brain, right? Otherwise, God would have given brain to only one person in a family. He didn't do that, right? He did provide brain to each and every individual, right? That means they should use it, right? You don't have to do everything. You don't have to decide everything. Oh, beta, you're gonna learn this. You're gonna learn maths. You're gonna learn science. No, stop doing that. Stop irritating your kids, okay, and your spouse. Okay, well, enough of lecture. Okay, number 5. In the hours you're awake, stay active. Okay, now, whenever you say like, in the hours you're awake, stay active, what people think is that get up, keep doing work, keep doing some physical work. It's not like that. It's not what I'm talking about. In the hours you are awake, you should be active. That means get absorbed into the things you're doing. Suppose you are reading a book, get absorbed into it. Suppose you're cooking something, do the best of yourself. Suppose you are playing something, do the best of it. Suppose you're sitting and watching Netflix, get absorbed in it. Whatever you're doing, stay active, be active into it, okay? Don't do anything passively, because that way you will soothe your mind. You will live with a very vibrant energy. You'll be amazed about yourself. You'll be thinking like, am I the same person? And you'll be like, I didn't know where it comes from, but it will be like this. Trust me, it will be. Okay, and yes, number 6. Sleep helps restore our energy and reduces the hike of emotions created by our thoughts and feelings. So true. We all know that why do we sleep? We sleep because it helps to restore our energy. It does that. So true. Now, it reduces the hike of emotions. Yeah. Okay. Hike of emotions come because you have a thought. You have kind of like, okay, this is good. Now this is good and he didn't do it. Now you keep building over this and over this. That creates emotions. Sometimes emotions are natural, but many a times they are derived, because there is only one natural emotion into the life, that is love. Apart from that, everything else is a derived emotion. So if you're angry at something, it could be a love asking for expectations, and it could be anything. It could be like somebody didn't do something in a way you wanted them to do. Yeah, that's why you get angry, right? So the thing is, when you sleep, right, the hike of emotions, because that was created with a series of thoughts, and it brings you to a level of anxiety. But once you sleep, your brain actually clears off so many things into your cache memory. Cache memory is like the very first memory, the primary memory, where all of your daily things go, and then only the important things where you were emotionally connected go to the other level of memory, where you can retain them for a longer time period. But in the things that are in cache memory are very very temporary, right? Like it will store everything what you did today, how you thought today, and you will still remember what did you do yesterday, because it stores that things. But eventually with time, can you tell me what did you do exactly a week ago on Monday, or maybe last month on 2nd of May? Can you tell me that? No, because everything of that day was into the cache memory. Only some selected events and things go into the higher memory in our hierarchy, not all of it. Okay. Now, when you are feeling anxiety, it is because of the series of things. Okay. Now, when you sleep and get up the next day, so many of your hiked emotions are actually calmed down, right? And you are left simply with the facts, not with other things. You're not feeling anything, not bad, nothing. You don't feel bad once you wake up, right? You still want to feel the same thing that you actually did yesterday, right? You still want to be angry, but you're not angry in the morning. And once you wake up, you're not that much angry that you were before sleeping. So what happens is, you keep thinking of the same emotions and you take yourself to the same level of anxiety over and over. Don't do that. This is not real, this is not normal, this is not natural, okay? You're simply punishing yourself for no reason. I don't understand this, but we all do that, right? But simply, you know what? I think that once you're enlightened, you actually try to move towards light. But if you simply don't know it, then there is no point. Then there is no chance of moving into that direction, because you simply don't know that in this direction you're gonna receive some light. I think you're getting my point, or I am actually confusing you. I'm not quite sure. I think you get it. Okay, so number 7, have great thoughts. It will help you feel better and you'll sleep great, just like a baby. You know what? Everyone wants to sleep like a baby, but no one wants to think like a baby. Why? A baby is very, very accepting. You know what? Don't. Why emotions reach to a hike? Because you keep storing them, you keep suppressing them. Don't do that. It is okay. It is okay to be happy, sad. It is okay to be envious or jealous. It is okay. You know what? Accept yourself, accept your emotions. Once you do that, then think about it. Why do you feel that way? What is it? Is it natural? See, I just told you that there is only one natural emotion, that is called love. Apart from that, everything is derived. Everything is derived because everything is a work of the thoughts over it, and then leading to some complex emotions. All other emotions are complex. That's why a child cannot do that. A child can only love you like anything. He doesn't know if he hurts you. He doesn't know if he um, cuddles with you. All it knows is to be happy, to be expressing. We should be like the same. Express your emotions. It is important. If you cannot express to the people around, don't fake yourself. You know what? Why to do that? I don't understand. Because this life is really, really very short. Much shorter than you think it is. And it won't be wise to fake it. Be what you are. And you're absolutely perfect the way you are. And if you don't know it, try knowing it. If you don't trust yourself, try trusting yourself. You are good enough. Okay? You are good enough the way you are, and you don't have to compare yourself to others. We all are unique. We should know that. Once you have greater thoughts, it makes you very peaceful. When you're peaceful inside, when you have great thoughts, when you're active, when you live fully, you sleep great. You have things sorted. Problems would be always there. There would be always people who won't understand, no matter what. They could be your really close ones, your loved ones. It is okay. But for them, don't punish yourself. If you're sad, if you're low, it is okay. Nobody ever feels the same way. But today's time of the social media, we think that the other people's lives are really very much perfect, much better than ours. It's not like that. Some people just simply like to, this era is like an era of boasting everything. Some people love to do it. It's okay. There's no problem in boasting. But don't take it on your ego that, oh, their life is so perfect. It just looks that way. It just looks that way. Yours is perfect too. You don't see your life from the same mirror, from the same eyes. You don't do it. Okay? Do it. Come on. If you like boasting, do it then. Don't criticize. That's the worst thing we can ever do. Okay? So the best thing is feel good about it. Feel good about yourself. That's the best way to live life. Oh well, the lecture was pretty long. I didn't expect that to be, but I hope you guys actually liked it. please comment and subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. And if you have any suggestions, if you want to talk about something, you're more than welcome. Okay, I'll see you in the next video shortly. Thank you. Bye bye.